Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Primetime Local News. Jasmine King joined here with Abby St. John today, as I am filling in for Josh Ryan, who is in Cold Lake actually at a local movie premiere. And speaking of movies, you guys did talk a little bit about the movie challenge, I guess, or marathon that you've been doing this month.
Yeah, we continued on our movie review of the movies that I have watched. Only a couple, not every single one, but yeah, a couple of classics like the Rocky Horror Picture Show was one of them, Friday the 13th, another classic. So lots of classics that I've been going through.
Well, that sounds interesting either way, but first we're going to go to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Thanks, guys. Well, if you are looking for something to do this weekend, that weather is looking pretty good to take a nice drive in your vehicle and come here and check out Hillmond, as they will be holding their Hillmond Craft Show this weekend. Starts very soon, actually, and we'll be also going into tomorrow as well. So we're going to be talking all about what they do have here. Tons of different vendors, 29 in fact, as well as some food for you to check out and sample as well. But before we do get to all that, we're going to head back into the studio, and Abby is going to take a look at your local news.
Earlier today, an improv group from Vancouver stopped by at Rundle Park School to do a show for the students, and we have more on the group. Vancouver Theatre Sports League had two members doing an improv show at Rundle Park School. The show featured the two actors, but one thing they do differently than other improv groups is they incorporate the students into the show.
Today we were performing for an elementary school and doing an improv show, which basically means we come in and almost every single scene has suggestions that we are using from the students or volunteers that are also the students. So it's a very, very interactive show, totally inclusive, and we're constantly using the ideas from the students.
Some students got to make sound effects while others controlled the bodies of the actors. One student got to tell the story of a time she got hurt on the playground.
So what I got to do was I got to beep a horn for my story because I fell off a pole at the playground a few years ago.
The stop in the border city is a part of the improv group's current tour.
We're currently on tour where, well, we came from BC and we're doing, I think, like 30 schools in this stint alone. So we're Lloydminster, and then we're going to all across Saskatchewan, and then we're coming back through and going up to Fort St. John, and then we're back for Halloween.
They like to host shows at elementary schools because the kids tend to have crazier ideas than adults.
They're totally different shows. I like doing them all. The elementary schools are great because the kids, sometimes it's the first time kids have seen any of this stuff. Adults is funny too because adults still are super inside the box, so you have to really provoke them to like get more creative, whereas kids are already there.
The other students were happy to see some of their classmates on stage.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and they were really excited to go up too.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News. Lloydminster Comprehensive High School had College Day today, giving students a chance to look at some future education options. Our Brandon Turditan reports.
Kicks off today's College Day with 17 post-secondary schools available. Students are given the chance to walk around and talk to any of the representatives. Lloyd Comp likes that it starts to make students really consider where they want to go.
I'd like to say most of our grade 12s know where they're going, but they don't, and that's fine because there's still time to apply. But it's a great opportunity for our grade 11s to start thinking about that.
With a positive reception from students, College Day gives them a little push that they need to make sure they start applying before it's too late.
Now all of a sudden my office is full. We need to make an appointment. Yes, we do need to make an appointment. So it does. It gives them a little kickstart. It's good.
When speaking with some of the students at the event, they shared that they are glad to have an opportunity to speak to someone about their program, and also they can learn about something new.
Well, I already kind of knew where I wanted to go, and I already knew that I was going to go into post-secondary, but it's really able to help with how much it costs, tuition, residence costs, so all of those factor into where you're going.
They've helped inform me like all the classes that I need to take, and just like all the classes that are required and stuff like that.
College Day allows high school students to look into programs that they're interested in. Or with a large variety of post-secondary schools here, they may have different options to consider. Braden Chernichan, Primetime Local News.
The Lloydminster District SPCA is teaming up with Fourth Meridian Brewing Company for their third cat brewery on October 22nd. Lloydminster residents enjoy an evening of food and drinks while furry felines pitter-patter around the establishment. While the SPCA's last event managed to find homes for 47 cats, they're hoping that more people will become pet owners.
We basically just had a handful of cats left too still, so those would be the ones that will go to the cat brewery. They quite enjoyed running around up the stairs, especially it seemed, and then underneath the couches and everything. So yeah, I think they enjoy their chance to fully spread their legs.
It's also a rare family-themed event for the brewery.
We had one little girl last year, and she kept those cats quite busy, so it was fun for everyone.
The Cat Brewery runs from 4 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Now we go to our Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here today out in Hillmond at the Hillmond Memorial Hall, and today we are going to be talking about the Hillmond Craft Show starting here this evening, and now Melissa Winter joins me. So first off, can you just give us a little background as to what we can expect here at the craft show?
Well, we have 29 vendors this year, and it's a variety of different things. As you can see, we have some floral arrangements behind us. We have a lot of crafters this year, not really so many home-based businesses. We have Honey Table, we have knitting, crocheting, all sorts of things. I can't even think of them all right now.
No, like you mentioned, 29, so obviously a ton of stuff to check out. So based on the craft show, you mentioned people will be bringing that kind of craft stuff. So is it more stuff you can purchase or stocking up on supplies for those crafters?
It's more purchase, yeah, and it's only cash only too, because we don't really have an ATM out here. Well, we don't have an ATM out here. So make sure you bring lots of cash, because there's lots of tables.
All right, awesome. And now when and where can people come out here and check this out over the weekend?
Tonight, Friday, between 6 and 9 o'clock tonight, and tomorrow, Saturday, 10 to 6.
All right, awesome. Thank you for this. And we are going to have some more from back here again, continuing with the Hillmond Craft Show and checking out all that there is here to see over the next couple of days. And we are going to keep on with that throughout the rest of the show here. But before we do get to all that, we are going to throw it back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Well, 12 is the current temperature here in Lloydminster with a mix of sun and cloud, but it's been mostly sunny throughout the entirety of the day with just a few spots of clouds here and there. But the winds coming in from the west-northwest at 15 kilometers per hour. Our records for today, back in 2014, the record high was 19 degrees and the record low back in 91 was -14. Now taking a look at current temperatures across the region, 15 in North Battleford, 13 in Meadow Lake, Saskatoon, 12 in Prince Albert, and 11 in Melfort. 12 in Cold Lake, 11 across in Edson, Whitecourt, Athabasca, Rocky Mountain House, and Red Deer, 7 in Jasper, and 12 in Edmonton. Now looking overnight across the region, mostly clear skies for the entirety of the region. Isle La Crosse may see some showers throughout the evening, but for the most part, everyone is below or just a little bit above 0 degrees. Now here in Lloydminster, overnight, -2 is the projected low, with the wind slowing down to 11 kilometers coming in from the west and clear skies. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with a high of 10, and the wind will pick up to 13 kilometers per hour. And then on Sunday, it will pick up even more to 17 coming in from the west-northwest with a high of 5 and a low of -2. So we do see a drop in temperature with mostly cloudy skies. And then on Monday, it warms up just a little bit to 7 degrees with a low of -5 with mostly cloudy skies. And the wind does die down just a little bit, but coming in from the south at 11 kilometers per hour. We are just above our averages for this time of year for now, which will slowly start to even out as we go on through the next week, and our average lows is around the same as which is our average high and low is 9 and -3. That's a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have your 7-day forecast later on in the show.
Welcome back. A return to relatively seasonal conditions is good news for farmers in Saskatchewan. According to this week's crop report, nearly 70% of the crop is in the bin. That's up 55% from last week, but still behind the 5-year average of 88%. A warm and dry outlook for the coming days suggests another productive week in the fields. However, the majority of crops coming off are tough or damp, with producers making heavy use of aeration bins and grain dryers. The head of Manitoba's biggest farm voice says fields in many areas of the province are, quote, a mess after last week's snowstorm. Bill Campbell, president of the Keystone Agricultural Producers, says fields are soaked and snow-covered, which has left producers in emergency mode as they struggle to finish their harvest. Campbell also says the storm has taken its toll on farmers' mental health, especially since wet weather was already hampering combining operations prior to the storm. Some areas of Manitoba got up to 100 milliliters of snow and rain when last week's weather system rolled through. Now let's take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
The long-awaited Wheatland Football League playoffs officially kick off tonight. Our Evan Kenny has all the details ahead of the game.
It's huge. It's my last season, so it's do or die, and got to make it happen or else the dream's ended.
All the punishing hits, late nights, and hard work has led 4 teams to this point.
They're open to change each week. They're up to the challenge each week, and they just love playing football.
Holy Rosary, Lloyd Comp, Bonnyville, and St. Paul have all made it to the league semifinals, with all 4 teams being willing combatants. The last 2 seasons have seen the same 4 teams take part.
You know, we're healthy and we're in the right frame of mind moving forward.
For the Raiders, they'll see the Bonnyville Voyageurs. The Raiders allowed a league-low 28 points all season, averaging only 5.6 against per game.
On defense, you know, we sort of game plan based on the opposition each week, and we've got the athletes to make some changes and sort of whatever's going to work for us that week, we can install.
Maybe this defense can help the Raiders take on Bonnyville stud Duncan Critch. Critch plays on both sides of the ball, averaging over 100 rushing yards per game and had 3 interceptions. The Raiders and the Voyageurs have not yet played this season. Now the game has playoff implications, but it also has provincial implications. Win, and you're in. Lose, and your season could be over. Now the Raiders are looking to bring their 44.2 average points per game to the game tonight. Now across the block, similar story will be happening. The Lloyd Comp Barons are looking to bring their league-leading offense to the game tonight. The Barons are looking to build on last game, where they scored 44 points against the St. Paul Lions. Throughout the regular season, the Barons' offense was nothing to mess with.
But when you're like us, you have a dynamic backfield, dynamic receivers, you can throw the ball, run the ball, it becomes tougher to stop. So credit to their coaching staff, they did a great job. But at the end of the day, it's really tough to cover the entire field, 65 yards wide and 100 yards deep, when you got a guy who can throw it like our guy.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Like Coach Harper said there, we've got a really special quarterback and a lot of really special players on our offense, and it's pretty exciting when we all get on the same page.
The Barons-Lions game has a late kickoff, not starting till 7 o'clock. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now we go to our Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again today we are back out here in Hillmont at the Hillmont Craft Show, checking that out here at the Hillmont Memorial Hall. And Melissa Winter joins me once again, and now we did talk a little bit about what people can expect here, but it's not all just about the crafts, as you guys do have some food available as well.
Yes, definitely good food. We have soup and a bun, Ukrainian plate, which is sausage, lazy cabbage rolls, coleslaw, and pierogies. And there's possibly going to be some pie, and then you can just get those items separate as well. So, and it's, again, cash only.
Oh, sounds good for sure. Definitely got to check that out. And now you guys are also holding a raffle here, so can you talk a little bit about what people can expect there?
Yeah, so each vendor is putting a gift raffle exchange on the table, and 1 ticket is $2, 3 for $5, and 6 for $10. So you just put your ticket in whatever bin, and at the end of tomorrow, we will draw the winner. And you don't have to be present to win. We'll phone you if you win.
All right, and now if people do want some more information just about this event in general, where can they find some more info?
Well, we have a Facebook page. It's called the Hillmont Craft and Trade Show. And we also have a Facebook event as well, and it's called the Hillmont Craft Show. And if you need if you're not on Facebook, you can contact me, and my number is 639-840-3993.
And now you mentioned this is your second year being in charge of this event, and last year you did have a fairly good turnout despite some inclement weather. So can you talk about the support you guys have received from people in the area?
Yeah, it's been really good. Like a lot of our vendors here too are even local or very close too. So I'm hoping for a good turnout, and even with harvest not so good right now, that maybe we'll have some of them come in too. So.
All right, thank you for this, and we're going to have some more from back here again, continuing from Hillmont, talking about the Hillmont Craft Show that begins this evening and runs as well tomorrow. But before we do get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Well, current temperature is still sitting at 12 here in Lloydminster, 11 in Marwayne, St. Paul, Lac La Biche, 13 in Bonnyville, 12 in Edmonton and Cold Lake, 13 in Wainwright, and 14 out in Provost, 15 in Macklin and in North Battleford, 13 in Maidstone and Meadow Lake, 12 in Green Lake, 9 in Isla Cross, and 11 in St. Walburg and Pierceland. Now tomorrow will drop just a little bit at 10 degrees, as well as in Maidstone, 11 in Macklin and Meadow Lake, Green Lake, 8 up in Isla Cross, 9 in Pierceland, 12 in North Battleford, and on the Alberta side, 9 in Cold Lake, Bonnyville, and Vegreville, 10 in Vermilion, Wainwright, and Provost, and 8 in Edmonton, Lac La Biche, and Cold Lake. Now taking a look at your satellite radar, there is little cloud coverage, especially here in Lloydminster. A little bit's making its way through Lac La Biche, but nothing too concerning. For the most part, the whole region seems to be clear with just a little bit of cloud here and there. Now your next 7 days, for tomorrow, it will be at 10 as your high with mostly sunny skies, a little bit of cloud, and then it'll drop down to 5 degrees on Sunday with a low of -2, and that wind will pick up to 17 kilometers. And then on Monday, it'll drop down, it'll warm up to 7 degrees, as well as on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, the wind will pick up significantly, and that temperature will drop to 3 for the high, with the winds coming from the northwest at 20 kilometers per hour with mostly cloudy skies. And then on Thursday, it'll be a high of 2 and a low of -6. And then on Friday, it'll warm up just a little bit more at a high of 6 and a low of -2. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Once again, we are back out here today in Hillmont at the Hillmont Memorial Hall, talking about the Hillmont Craft Show, which does begin this evening and runs into tomorrow. And Melissa Winter joins me here once again. And now we mentioned a little earlier how you guys you moved it up this year, and because of weather. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we thought that being it was in December last year, that the weather was a big factor on people coming out. And this year we have 2 events also happening in town. The school has a senior girls volleyball tournament, and the rink has a Dusty Man hockey tournament. So we thought that might help too when people are sitting around bored. They might come on down and check things out. So.
No, very good. And now you also mentioned last year's was in December, but this year too is still a great opportunity to pick up some Christmas gifts as well.
Yeah, and then there's a lot. There's some baby things, there's adults, there's food, baking items. There's a lot of different things here. So
definitely going to be very popular. Now, we didn't mention earlier, but what's it cost to actually get in the door here and check all this stuff out?
Absolutely free. Yep. So yeah, last year we had a charge, but we thought we'd take it away so that we could maybe get more people to come in too. So.
Oh, that's good to hear. Now, also, you mentioned last year, too, you guys have a bit of a different variety this year, so tons of new stuff for people to check out, even if they did come here last year, right?
Yeah, there's definitely, I think last year we had about 21 tables. This year there's 29, and a lot of them, for the majority of them, are different. We have a lady that does folded books, like art, I guess, in the book. And there's World Financial Group, there's a local author, Alpaca Farms, or Alpaca Loft, I guess it's called, is going to be here. So yeah, there's a lot of different ones.
Yeah, you showed us the book, and I know it's obviously very hard to describe, but pretty neat to check out, so it definitely should be pretty popular. And then now also, just quick, you guys also have that raffle going on, and you mentioned the food as well, so what do you have there for people to check out?
A lot of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, the food, we have the Ukrainian plate and soup and pie, maybe. And then we have beverages as well, like pop and water and coffee and tea. The raffle table, we have each item from a vendor will be at the table, and tickets are $2 each, or 3 for $5 and 6 for $10.
All right, thank you for this. And once again, cash only here. So if you are coming out, definitely bring that cash if you want to check out some stuff. Definitely tons of cool stuff to check out here, and also pretty early enough to get that Christmas shopping done here sooner rather than later. But for now, we'll go back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Now our question of the day today does have to do with the story we talked about earlier with Greta Thunberg going to Edmonton and with the climate rally that went on today. So we asked your guys' your opinion on it, and there was a lot of mixed reactions. There were some people who said they let her do what she wants, and if she believes in it, then go ahead and just do what you want. And then some people weren't really agreeing with it, and a lot of people also wondered why she was in Alberta in specific, and said maybe she doesn't know about as much about Alberta. So there is a lot of different opinions on her being in Edmonton.
Yeah, I think what we saw is thousands of people showed up with her during this rally, and then you had the counter protesters as well. So this really brought in a large sum of people to hear her speak. And I think that, you know, for the most part, everyone who went was on her side and just wanted to listen to what she said, because she's been in the media for a very long time, and so being able to actually hear her speak live, I think a lot of people wanted to know what she had to say.
And I think, yeah, like you said, a lot of people were interested to just see what she was saying. But regardless if you do agree with her or not, she is 16 and she's going to speak in front of thousands of people. So that just takes courage in itself.
Yes, I don't think I would ever be able to do that. And so being 16 years old and being passionate about something, I think that says a lot.
And well, one thing we are passionate about is your pets. So we're going to take a look at your pet pictures. This is Pixie.
Gorgeous. Looks like she has her own little playhouse. Very cute.
I love that. And this is Finn.
I love his ears stuck right up. Very adorable.
And this is Charlie.
Beautiful green eyes. You can see it kind of enhances the photo. Obviously, it looks like enjoying the outdoors.
Great picture as well. And then this is Tokyo.
Just an adorable looking dog. Just very, very cute. Probably wants a treat.
And finally, this is Burnt Marshmallow.
Love the name. I love where he's sitting. Just super cat-like on the most random spots. Very adorable.
Well, very creative name. And thank you to everyone who submitted your pet pictures. We'll be giving away a Pet Pad gift card at the end of the next hour.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Back for week 3 of Abby St. John's journey through 31 Halloween films over the course of October. And this will be a blast of nostalgia for a lot of folks who enjoyed growing up watching movies in the 90s with Hocus Pocus as your next film.
Yes, that was one of the films that I haven't seen, or I guess don't remember seeing. But here is a clip to start out from Hocus Pocus.
I put a spell on you.
Now, when you have an actress like Bette Midler playing an iconic role, you had to expect a musical number to come up. This is just an amazing scene from the film. And, you know, this film really entitles, you know, everything about Halloween, but it has that fun, family-esque feeling, so anyone really can watch this movie with a little bit of spook. But it's definitely a very lighthearted film, which I very much enjoyed, and it had that comedy aspect to it as well, which I appreciated.
And also, as you can see, has a little bit of musical flair, and as someone who watches musicals, you
Yes.
probably appreciate that as well.
Yes, she is fantastic in anything that she does, and especially in that number. It's so funny and just amazing, just putting the spell on all the adults in the town to keep them away from the children. It was a great movie.
And maybe that's something we'll see down the road here, where another studio will finally go, let's do a Halloween family movie with a little bit of music pizzazz, which we really haven't had since this film.
Exactly. But now the next film is by far my favorite movie. Definitely, you can't compare it to anything else, and it is the iconic Addams Family. So here's a clip from that. Now, with the Addams Family, this is such an iconic movie, and you really can't compare it to anything else in cinema. You know, they're spooky, they're ooky, and you know, they're the Addams Family, and it's just a great film because it's so out of the ordinary, and it's just so entertaining to watch.
And it also, I guess, has a real family dynamic to it that many movies that are more conventional than that never really managed to capture it in the same way that this film did.
Exactly. This is definitely not your conventional family. They're definitely a bunch of like psychopaths and sociopaths throughout the Addams bloodline. So this is definitely not your typical family, but they are still a family, and family means everything to them, which it just makes it even more perfect for this film. And I would it's definitely aged well, especially with the new one that the animated one that just came out. It's definitely still held up, and it's definitely going to continue to hold up for years to come.
And that, of course, gives you a viewing option before going to see the new one, is to check this one out.
Yes, exactly. Highly recommend you check them out so you know the characters and who you are, and you know kind of what you can expect.
Also a young Christina Ricci before she really took off as a star. Certainly something to enjoy as well.
I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Hot FM, and here's what's happening. The 2019 Father-Daughter Gala is going down Thursday, November 28th at the Vermilion Regional Center. There's going to be 5:30 registration, 6 o'clock dinner, and then a dance to follow. Early bird draw for that one is November 1st, and it is sponsored by Norsport and Websport. And Catholic Social Services is putting on a spaghetti supper November 2nd. It's happening at the Blessed Sacrament Church here in Wainwright. Doors will be at 5:30, dinner will be served at 6, and you can purchase your tickets at the door. $8 for adults, $5 for youth 6 to 17, and then of course kids 5 and younger are free. Lots of fun stuff happening this Saturday, the Firefighters Ball being one of them. It's going down over at the Wainwright Elks Hall. Cocktails will be served at 5:30, dinner at 6:30 with a dance to follow. Tickets are $60 and they are available from any firefighter or from the town hall. Also happening on Saturday is Honeymoon Suite Prism and Lee Aaron Rockin' in Sedgwick. It is going to be a terrific time. Tickets can be purchased over at Ticketmaster or the Co-op Food Store in Sedgwick or the Co-op Food Store in Killam. I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Hot FM, and that's what's happening.
We're here with Cindy Palmer, president of CLS Consulting in Lloyd, all the way from Philippines. How are you?
Oh, everything is great over here. We've just survived an earthquake to the south of us, but it seems not too many people were hurt, so it's good.
Thank God, I know. Now we're talking about immigration, obviously. Lots of stuff is happening with the elections, as we talked on the phone. Let's talk a little bit about your thoughts. I know that you deal with a lot of foreign economic workers that come to Canada. Let's talk a little bit about what the candidates are talking about in the elections. What are your thoughts on some of them?
Well, I guess, you know, I've gone through what they're all promising, and some of them I smile to myself because if you don't think you're going to win the election, you can make promises that you'll never have to live up to. But at the same time, some of the comments that are made are very sincere from the standpoint, I think Canada's heading in a direction that they definitely want skilled workers. And so we're going to be looking more at immigration as a better possibility than just work permits.
Definitely.
It also looks like all the governments are trying to get families in quicker for people that are in Canada.
It looks good for the Liberals. I know that Justin had said about 350,000 migrants, immigration will open up in 2021, and he's spending about $51.9 million to do that. That's exciting, but at the same time, the Green Party, they're saying that they want to eliminate the temporary foreign workers program and address issues increasing immigration. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the big thing that when you look at the country as a whole, these people are talking on a federal, basically on a federal region. What scares me is there's lots of smaller areas. Lloydminster's a good example. You know, we don't represent the norm as a whole, but we're desperate for foreign workers. And when you read the articles that our aging population is our working people are going down, so we got to have people to replace them. It's simple math.
Yeah, you're right about that in terms of a lot of seniors are retiring right now, and there's a huge gap in terms of employment, and a lot of jobs and skilled working positions are available. People are not taking those jobs, and we need to bring people in here. So you're in the Philippines right now. Is that what you're doing with that?
Yes, we picked up 3 new orders, and they're right from Ontario, Manitoba, BC, and Saskatchewan. So we're starting to feel getting orders, which is an indication that there's more need or the economy is picking up.
Yeah. And what do you say about the fact that once we get economic workers here, what about the families? What about the other immigrants? I know refugees are a big talk in terms of the election as well too, but they're focusing more on, attracting immigrants through an economic lens, right? So.
Yes, but I think what we have to take a serious look at getting the whole family to Canada sooner. And there's too many issues coming up with single parents coming to Canada for 1 to 3 years waiting for the family. It's too long, and it creates upheavals at both ends.
Sydney, obviously this is going to be quite the election stuff that's happening for all the candidates. What are your thoughts? Who are you voting for? I guess I can't ask you that personally, but has anyone swaying you in any way?
No, but because I live in a community that's one way. I also do a lot of business in other provinces, and one thing we've never done as a company, we've never waved flags. I mean, I have to represent and respect my customers' thoughts, and I've been taught over the years that I can't. If I wave flags, it just hurts half my business. It's that simple.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being with us and talking to us all the way from the Philippines. Thanks for staying up and talking to us, actually. So hopefully we'll see you again back in Lloydminster.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we're back with 2 more movies coming up on Abby St. John's journey through October, 31 Halloween films in that span. And since there's a sequel coming out soon, that obviously makes this very timely. Zombieland, a kind of surprise hit from 2009.
Yes, and something that I had never seen before. I've never really been a fan of zombies or the concept of zombies, so this was definitely a long time coming, but with a cast like Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin,
pretty phenomenal.
Amazing actors, you knew that the movie was going to be just as great. So to start out, here is a clip from Zombieland.
Planet Earth, home to over 6 billion people. Today, our very existence is threatened by epidemics, climate change, and dwindling resources. But those are the least of our problems. Welcome to Zombieland.
Now, this is definitely a comedy horror movie. Definitely a lot of funny moments throughout the entirety of the film, and honestly, the actors, the chemistry that they all had and shared together was just phenomenal, and they worked so well. Their characters were very different from one another, but they still worked very well to get to Zombieland and make it out alive. And I have to admit, for a zombie movie, I definitely did enjoy it, and I do want to see the second one after watching this one.
Yeah, and I'm curious now then, after watching this one, what do you hope they do in the second one? Expand upon, or do you want to kind of keep the same themes of the last one?
I think keep the same comedy themes, but definitely add to their storyline. It has been 10 years since the first one came out, so definitely be curious to see what they're doing now and how they're handling the zombies. But the next one is definitely a horror classic. It is definitely a slasher classic, Friday the 13th, so let's just jump right into that.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3.
Now, this slasher movie is definitely one where you have to have the stomach for this kind of stuff, but this is definitely a classic. You can tell watching it now how it was terrifying back in the day, but it's definitely a revenge type of slasher movie, as you'll find out at the very end who the actual killer is. And then it spawns this whole series of Jason Voorhees. And it's the same theme of it being a revenge type slasher movie, and it's just very interesting, and I think they've held up very well, and it's definitely going down as a classic.
And as you said yourself, you kind of find out at the very end who the killer is. It really sort of preceded a lot of these M. Night Shyamalan movies where they're known for their twists. This was well before that.
Yes, yeah, I was shocked when I first saw it a while ago who the actual killer was, because, you know, the iconic name Jason Voorhees with that hockey mask, but you really get shook when you figure out the killer isn't Jason Voorhees in the first movie.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Of course, it is a classic as well. Yeah, so obviously there's plenty of movies that have come out since with Friday the 13th. Great place to start. Thank you again, Abby, and looking forward to more over the rest of October.
Once again, we are back out here today in Hillmont at the Hillmont Memorial Hall, checking out the Hillmont Craft Show, which has already started, but don't worry if you can't make it tonight. There is still an opportunity tomorrow. They will be open here, and everything will be available from gifts and crafts to, you see the honey here, tons of food and baking to purchase, and as well, if you're not looking for necessarily Christmas gifts, there's also, you can come out just for the meal as well, as they do have soup and a bun, and also Ukrainian plate, which does sound amazing. And again, it doesn't cost anything to get in through the door. All you have to do is bring a little cash if you are looking to purchase something, and as well they do have that raffle, so if you maybe want to just throw your name in the hat, have a chance at winning something cool from all these tables. They will all be putting something in. 29 tables in all from a whole bunch of different fields, checking and selling out their stuff. So that's all we're going to have from here tonight. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and now we'll go back into the studio.
Thanks, Eric. Now, as it is the end of the week, we're going to take a look at who your Pet Pad gift card winner is. And the winner is Charlie.
Adorable. Well, congratulations, Joelle. We will be in contact with you on Monday for all the details on when and where you can pick up your gift card. But hopefully Charlie will enjoy some treats or toys that will come out of getting the gift card. So I love this part.
Yeah, this part is definitely the best, and it always the one days when I host sometimes, and then that pet wins from this day. I'm like, hey, I know who that is.
Yeah, but very cute, all of the pets that we've seen. It's hard to choose just a couple.
Exactly. So thank you to everyone who submitted, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Primetime Local News. We'll have more news next week.